And talking about what he taught us, we are looking at holiday parenting and mentorship, and allowed me to rope in my panel of guests. As I had mentioned earlier, we have Honorable Senator Gertrude Musuruve, who is also a lecturer at the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. Karibu sana, good to see you.
Thank you, Ben.
Just next to her, we have Grace Njeri Karuno, who is a children and youth mentor. And looking at mentorship, and we have seen all those people, they feel they owe something to Baba. And with all due respect, you owe a lot to Baba. And it would have been fair as a senator who was elected on who was appointed on an ODM ticket. Would it be fair if I don't give you that opportunity?
Thank you very much, Ben. Even for giving me the opportunity. First of all, I want to pass my condolences to my very good friend, Mama Ida, and her family for the passing on of Baba, and to also all Kenyans who look at the bigger picture of Kenya. I pass my condolences and condolences of my family as well. And I want to say, Ben, even as I pass my condolences, I want to really come out strongly to say that Baba Raila Amolo Odinga had a duty, a God-given political duty on planet Earth, which he did faithfully in terms of fighting for democracy, in terms of fighting for the weak. And even when he went to prison, that did not stop him from fighting for democracy, because he had already known his God-given duty. And so, Ben, I want to take this platform also to really urge Kenyans to empathize with the family and also the followers of Baba, and also the greater Kenya, to empathize and stop speaking ill of the dead and allow Baba to rest in peace. And I want to say, Ben, I'm coming out strongly to say that the statement by Governor, Nyeri is very unfortunate at a time like this when people are mourning Baba. You can see my eyes are red. I've been mourning, and I'm not really myself, and I'm not the only one. You saw Kenyans all over carrying, leaves, even on in the vehicle. They had, even borders had leaves and all that. All Kenyans are mourning Baba because they know the role that Baba played in this country. So it is unfortunate that some people can speak, ill of him when he's gone. So Governor Nyeri, could you kindly allow Baba to rest in peace? Baba did his job, everybody saw, and we are celebrating him. So I'm just asking him to also do his political job quietly, so that when he's gone, he's celebrated. That is what should be, because also political leaders have a God-given role on earth, which is very different from any other role. So let us allow political leaders to do what they've been allowed to do by God, and especially when they're fighting for the good of the entire country. And Ben, you can remember very well that even when it came to devolution, Baba was at the forefront, even asking for more money to go, into devolution, simply because he was looking at the common man, that if development can go to the 47 counties, he was happy with that. And you also saw, Ben, that during his life on earth, even when elections did not go well, Baba chose peace. He was selfless. He looked at the bigger picture of Kenya and chose peace. And that is why he was going for handshake. He went for handshake with former President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. It was very intentional because he was looking at the bigger picture of Kenya. And that is why he also went, handshake with the current president, Dr. William Samoei Ruto. They looked at the bigger picture. And even before his death, he looked at the bigger picture of Kenyans. He looked at the bigger picture of the opposition and decided that he would have a handshake so that they're also in government, because he did not want to leave problems to his followers. He wanted them to be in safe hands because he was looking at the bigger picture. So I want to say that let us celebrate Baba at this time, and let us mourn with the family, let us mourn with his followers, and let us empathize with them. And I want to say, Ben, I really thank the president president, and wherever he is, may God bless him. The president came out strongly to really support Baba, even when he was gone. The president decided Baba was going to have a state funeral, and it was indeed a state funeral. It was not a joke, and all Kenyans went to view. I remember I went to Parliament when we were supposed to view him in Parliament. I went to Parliament to view him, but Kenyans could not. It was overwhelming, even for Parliament, and that is why he was second to Kasarani, because everybody wanted to see him. Why? Because of the contributions he has done. So I want to say that let us appreciate him. Let us appreciate the family. Let us also appreciate the president, what he's doing, because he has said that he wants the legacy of Baba to go on, and he'll make sure that what the agreement that he had done with Baba, the 10-point agenda, he's going to fulfill. And that is why, Ben, I want to say that even those leaders who are supporting Baba, let us also give the president a chance and see how is he going to stand with his word? You know.
All right. And because we are talking about mentorship, and Baba has indeed mentored a lot of people, you included, and now you're a lecturer passing that knowledge to students that you are with at the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. You'll be telling us more on what you were able to get there, and you are instilling into these children as they go for their holidays. Karibu sana, Grace. Apologies, Mheshimiwa is still a politician, and despite the fact that she's also a lecturer, but I'm looking at the pressure that we have on our kids, especially when it comes to academic. They're so focused, there's high pressure, waking up early. Now that we have a holiday, we have seen some organizations have mentorship for young girls and also boys. Maybe some are circumcised that time, and there's a lot of mentorship. I'm looking at how we can how we'll develop a whole child, and by a whole child I mean emotional intelligence, creativity, and also life skills.
Yes. Yeah, so thank you so much for this opportunity. Yes, our children are coming home for the holidays, and as you earlier said, they are going to be with us for about 2 months and more for some. And it's very important for parents at this time to be able to know how they can plan, how they can prepare for these children as they come home, you know, to make sure that this holiday season is not like just any other holiday, but by the time these kids are going back to school, these kids are equipped, these kids are well taken care of, as you said, socially, mentally, psychologically, and even creativity. Because we've seen that our children, especially those in boarding schools, they are going through so much, you know. Some of them have been involved in banning of schools because there's something our children are trying to tell us. You know, there's a message they are trying to pass. And right now, among our children, the suicide rates are very high. So this holiday season, maybe it is a time for parents to come together as both parents and to be able to know how can they take care of their kids psychologically, mentally, you know, be able to listen to their challenges, listen to their struggles, and also help them navigate their weaknesses. So yeah, this time parents, guardians, and the society at large, because we all have a role to play in the lives of our children, and we need to learn how we are going to equip ourselves first as parents and guardians, and then we can be able to take care of these children mentally, so that by the time they are going back to school, we can say that we are sending healthy children back to school. Yes.
And Moshe, I'm looking at mentorship, and we have seen a number of platforms in regards to mentorship. I'll tell you this, when I was joining college, some of the vices that I witnessed in college, I had not seen them when I was in primary school or even secondary school. So when it comes to tertiary education, it's a very critical point for mentorship, especially for young girls. And you have been on the forefront in regards to that. And more specific, you've moved even an inch higher when you've talked about matters or issues that affect persons with disabilities. Baba did mention you a lot. Some of the photos that I have seen, I don't know whether we can be able to have them, is that you were so close to Baba when it came to matters governance and fighting for women's rights.
Oh, thank you, Ben. Sorry. Now, I want to say, first of all, I want to put it very clearly that when it comes to success of children in life, we cannot ignore the tripartite relationship of parents, school, and the child. So these three work hand in hand to ensure that children are successful.
Yeah.
And therefore, when it comes to parenting, first of all, the mentorship begins even from home. Even before a child goes to school. You know, a child will be mentored by his parents, and especially during this long holiday. Ben, you are quite aware that schools are closing and they open in January. That is about 2 months, 2.5 months. So that's a long period, and this is the time parents can now get close to their children, because at the end of the day, children go back to their parents. They do not belong to the school, they do not belong to teachers, they do not belong to government. So the time when children are now in the long holiday, it is a time for parents to see how to mentor their children. Most of the time, children are learned by observing, you know. They see, they observe, and then they follow. So it is a time for parents to make sure that they're mentoring children in terms of the values they want the children to have, in terms of even the kind of personality they want children to have, in terms of ensuring that a child is all round. Like, for example, there are some household chores that parents need to instill in children, like, especially when they've closed, make sure that children are not idle, because when children are idle, then it creates, an atmosphere of going out of hand and doing things that are really illegitimate and getting into wrong companies. So at a time like this, when children are at home, parents should make sure that when it comes to household chores, even if they have house helps, in the house, they need to assign some duties to their children. Like when it comes to washing dishes, they can be assigned to wash dishes. When it comes to cleaning their rooms, when it comes to spreading the bed, and when it comes to, even if it's gardening, at the end of the day, we want our children to be all around, because when we are preparing our children for the outside world, we are not preparing them for soft life, because if we give them soft landing, then they may end up being in problems when they're out there in the outside world. So I want to say that apart from showing them the direction that they need to go, parents should also create a time to ensure that their children bond with their relatives. There's some children who do not even know their grandparents. Some of them have not even gone to the countryside to see how it looks like. So parents should create time to ensure that they're taking their children at home. They're bonding also with what is happening in the village. And Ben, I can tell you for sure, there's some children who have actually, and you can't blame them, who are not aware of the African culture, because all they know is what is Western, and what they see on the screen, what they see on TV, what they see, and all that. So during this long holiday, it should be a time when parents are minimizing the screen time, so that they're taking time to get to know their children, instill values, encourage them, and make their children feel loved. Because, the home atmosphere sets the pace upon which children can step out to the outside world. Because if they don't find it at home, then when they go out there, they get into peer influence. And when it comes to peer influence, you can't be sure how it will go. Sometimes it will be good, sometimes it will be damaging, and it can even destroy what has been learned at home. So even in their home environment, parents can ensure that they're instilling good morals in their children. When it comes to issues of God, when it comes to knowing God and all that, they need to do that, because if we instill this information to our children, even if they go out of hand, they'll remember. This is what my parents taught me. They taught me I have to pray before I eat. I have to rely upon God. I have to go to school. I have to serve my community. I have to be kind to elders. I have to do this and that. So there's need for the home environment to be very conducive during the 2.5 months for the children to get maximum input from their parents. And then one thing I need to tell parents is that they need to know that children are with parents for a while. Within a very short time, children leave the home, setup, and they go into the outside world. And therefore, if they do not take the opportunity to teach them the right values and to teach them how to, behave in the outside world, it will be very difficult for children to really stand the pressure in the outside world. Remember, there are some times when people say, this is what my mother told me, this is what my father told me, this is what my auntie told me. So we need to ensure that we are leaving a legacy in our children, and even during the long period, I want to urge parents kindly that even in the 2.5 months, sometimes children can forget to read. So they should also create time to ensure that they're going for mentorship programs, they're going maybe for some activities that will activate their cognitive, competence. Like, for example, children can be enrolled to do a language, like maybe French, maybe even vernacular.
Even sign language.
Even sign language, yeah, because it will help the cognitive development of the children, and that is very important. They can even organize for camps for children to go, the camps that children go to, and sometimes there are even some Bible teachings. In some churches I've seen where they create time when children go to camps, they're taught the word of God, and when they're taught the word of God, when they go back to their parents, they're able to share. Because Ben, when it comes to bringing up children, it cannot be the role of the school only. It cannot be the role of parents only. It is a collective arrangement where the school is involved, parents are involved, the entire community is involved. That is why I'm saying that it is a tripartite kind of relationship, Ben.
All right. And I'm looking at, Njeri, I'm looking at what Senator has mentioned in regards to how we as parents have left the digital devices to parent our children, especially when they are in the holidays.
Yes.
Another thing is that there have been not one or two cases where parents have been accused of abdicating their parenting duties, especially when it comes to holidays.
Yeah.
I want to still be hanging out with my boys instead of spending the whole days with my son or my daughter.
Sure.
How can parents tap these 2 months plus to ensure that we change this narrative? Because digital devices or the gadgets have really taking over.
Yeah, thank you, Ben, for the question. One thing we have to understand, we have to acknowledge, and we have to accept is that technology is progressing and it's advancing and it is here with us. But now the question is, how do we turn this technology to work to benefit us? There is a way you can be able to use this same technology to be able to contribute positively and healthily, in a healthy manner, to our children. Be mindful of what they are looking at in this technology, what topics are they searching for. Tell them this is how you use technology, this is the good about this technology, this is the bad, this is the ugly, And we also have to teach our kids that not everything you see in these devices works positively for you. And they also have to know the people behind the screens, they are acting. It's a job they are doing, Most of them, deep down, if you ask them, they don't stand for most of the things that they are advocating for our children. So we need, as parents, we need to monitor what our children are feeding on in matters to do with technology. I think even as parents, it would be good to, sit down with your child. Are they active on TikTok? Ask them, what do you like about this TikTok platform? What are you gaining from this TikTok platform? What are some of the videos you're watching in this TikTok platform? So that you can be able to see what they're feeding their minds with. But if you change the narrative and show them that this technology can work positively to better their lives, then they can be able to accept it, because technology is here with us. They are easily accessing information online,
And even things that they shouldn't be.
Oh yes, and nowadays if you give a high school student your phone, they know their phone more than you even know the phone itself.
Yes.
And also at the same time, for parents, it's a time to balance, because of course as parents, you want to have time with your peers, you want to have a social life with your fellow colleagues, with your friends, but also you need to strike that balance. Have a time for the kids and have a time for your social life. Tap when the kids are active, when you can talk to the kids. And when you interact with them, you can be able to see what they are feeding on and what information is being passed through them. Yes.
Senator, this question is a little bit political, because we are talking about children being the future. You're talking about power vacuum when somebody either retires, or in the case of Baba, when he left us. But you had the rare opportunity of being mentored by Baba, and now you're a university lecturer, and you have lots and lots of Gen Zs. Look at Babu Owino. He was a student leader. He started his politics in the university. The likes of James Orengo, Gitobu Imanyara, they all started out from the university, and many leaders that we have in the country. How do we instill the leadership so that we may be done completely with the notion that you are the leaders of tomorrow?
Thank you very much. And probably I can give my example as a lecturer. And that is something I saw from Baba, that Baba was very empathetic. And one thing I can say about Baba is that when he got to realize that you are his genuine follower, he would always give you time, and he would listen to you. He had a listening ear. Like he would actually inspire you, you know. And I remember there's a time when I was opening my house, and I invited him to, to open, and he actually accepted, you know. And he came all the way to Lugari and opened my house. And I remember there's a time I also gave him an invite, in our church. And when I gave him an invite to our church, he told me that he was coming, and he came. And people could not believe it. But one thing I knew about Baba is that when he realized that you are committed to him, and you are a solid follower, he would always be available for you. And I remember even before he died, last month, I remember Baba had given an assignment to Hon.
I think we've mentioned him, and now we hear there's a presser that is at Kango Kajaramogi. Let's first of all listen in, then we can continue.
Okay.
Let's first of all cross over to the late Baba's homestead, where, as I had mentioned earlier, there were leaders who had convened there, the likes of James Orengo. I also saw the Governor Kenneth Lusaka, but let's listen in.
Greatness is still seen. Baba's biggest achievement was restructuring the architecture of governance in Kenya, ensuring that service delivery and resources were devolved to all mashinani's in Kenya, Migori County being one of them. Baba's achievement is the practical enjoyment of all our rights, the freedom of speech, the freedom of association, and the freedom that is associated with politics. I do not want to stand here and enumerate all his achievements, but I want to say that the nation is poorer without the physical presence of Baba. The nation is poorer without Baba's courage. The nation is lonely. And what we are left with is to do exactly what Baba used to do, to exercise our rights, to speak, to demonstrate within the limitations of the law. Baba never wanted lawlessness. Baba never wanted people to operate outside the law. He was ready to sacrifice as much as humanly possible to ensure that you exercise your rights within the law. He believed in change based on the ballot. He believed in a change based on the rule of law. So as Migori County, we are saying sorry to Kenyans and to Baba's family here, but we want to say we will stay focused in what Baba stated. Baba said, and he told me many years ago, forget about the recent ones. He told me in 1999 when we started cooperating with the county. I was a young member of parliament representing Rongo, which is now Awendo and Rongo, that if you want to effect change within government. If you want to do improvement within government.
That has been Governor Ochilo Ayako, as I had mentioned earlier, together with a host of other leaders, just having reflections on Baba, and exactly the last comment that he has made is exactly what we've been talking about when he was a young member of parliament after being mentored by Baba. And he's talking all about just how Baba has impacted his life. Now he is the governor, and of course that is what we had been looking at. And because of the interest of time, let's first of all cross over to our discussion right here. Senator, you're talking about how do we mentor these children. We have the Gen Zs who are not going out to get their votes, and they need to be at the ballot in the next 30 days or so for the by-elections. We have also another elections in 2027, but the young generation are not coming out strongly to show themselves out and say that, yes, indeed, we've been told always that we are the leaders of tomorrow, but we are the leaders of today. How do we mentor these children to ensure that we get leaders from these children?
Thank you. Now, before we go to that, I was just explaining how Baba actually mentored me in terms of empathy, that he was very empathetic. And even last month, I remember he had sent Honwanga and Honosozi to Narok for an assignment. But I had invited the two of them also to Vihiga County to come and worship with us. But when they spoke to Baba, Baba allowed them to come to Vihiga. So they came to Vihiga and we worshiped together. So I want to say that Baba had a way of transforming people, inspiring people to even take out his values and also be leaders. So I want to say that this has helped me also as a lecturer. I want to give my example. Even when I was coming here, Ben, there's a master's student that I'm supervising, and she wanted some documents to be signed. And she told me the deadline was today. And I told her, look here, I have an interview at KBC, but I'm ready to sign if we meet at KBC. So I've just done that because I empathize with her, that the deadline was today. So I want to say that even in my daily life, I empathize with my students. The master's students and the PhD students that I supervise, I make sure I instill that value. When it comes to also undergraduates, when I'm teaching them, I'm usually very keen to listen to them. And even when I'm giving my cards and assignments, I put myself in the shoe of the student and see how actually can I mentor them. Because when it comes to our Gen Zs, by the way, they look at how we behave, and eventually they want to become what they see as. Even in the universities, it's not about lecturing only. Even the way you dress, they will say, I want to dress like her. Even sometimes the car you drive, even the way you speak, even the way you deal with them. So sometimes when they tell me, Daktari, I'm very happy, you've taken me through and all that, then I'm very grateful. And I tell them, if you're grateful, can you treat somebody else the way you feel I've treated you? Yeah, so that you pass it on. So most of the time when the students are happy with my work, I say, if you're happy with my lectures, you are happy with how I've taken you through, then can you do that to somebody else so that you are shown upon which somebody else can climb on.
Yeah, and as we wrap up, I would like you to also, Njeri, touch on our ladies, our girls. Yesterday we carried a news item where parents were being asked to really being keen, especially to take care of the young ladies, so that we avoid these cases we are hearing of teenage pregnancies. What would be your clarion call to parents as they have one of the biggest holidays ever? So,
yeah. For a long time, I think we have really focused on the girl child. But if there's something, I have had the privilege of working as a crisis pregnancy counselor, where I would be able to work with the girls throughout their pregnancy. And before they become pregnant, I've had the opportunity to be able to talk to girls in different platforms on sexual purity. And most of the things I normally tell the girls is that when you get pregnant with a man who has not committed to marriage, you are the one who is more on the losing side, because at the end of the day, when all is said and done, this guy can walk away very easily and society will not hold him ransom. But you, on the other side, as a girl, you will be pregnant, you will be the single mother, you will be the one who will struggle with this child, you know. And so it's very important to teach our girls that they need to learn to respect their bodies, you know, to be able to not go for shortcuts, but to look at the long term, to look at the bigger picture. But even on the other side, I would like to talk to parents who have boys at home. And I think as a society, we have reached a point where we have to teach our boys, we have to teach our men about taking responsibilities of their actions. Because when two people come together, there are two who are involved. And so the consequences should be carried by the two parties that are involved. So it's high time society, even parents, teach boys how to take responsibility of their actions, to own up to what they have done.
Ben,
Yeah.
could I kindly add something
Yes.
on what she has said? She has very good statements, and I want to also add, as a mother to daughters, that when it comes to the girl child, we really need to be close to them and teach them the core values that we want them to learn. But sometimes when it happens, and many times it happens, that they get pregnant. Sometimes if they get pregnant, and while they're in school, we should empathize with them and see how to give them a chance to go on with school.
Yeah, we've seen some parents even
Yes.
chase them away.
Yeah, just encourage them. I'm sorry it has happened. You need to be very careful. You take them through counseling. But once they've given birth, as parents, I'm urging parents to take responsibility of the children and give them a second chance to go to school, because I have seen a girl child, I've seen girls who are given birth before they finish school. When they have the support of their parents, they've gone very far. Some of them have even finished, they are doing very well in the society, and they're even giving back to the society. So I think it is necessary for us to give our girl child the opportunity to grow to their full potential. Okay. Because when they grow to their full potential, then it becomes an advantage for us as a society. And even if we are talking about the girl child, we need to also talk to our boys, because one thing I like about the girl child is that when the girl child is pregnant, you can counsel her and you help take care of this baby and will go on with school. But our boys also, we need to talk to them, because some of them go scattering their seeds all over. Maybe they're not aware, and maybe they've given, they've had very many children out there. Their parents are not aware. So they just feel, my son is okay, my son is okay, only to realize later on that their children, their boy child had very many children out there. So we need to look for a way in which we can talk to both the boy child and girl child. But we ensure that the girl child grows to have full potential, so that economically, you know the role of women in the society.
All right. I'll give you 10 seconds for your closing statements. Kindly, 10 seconds.
Okay, so thank you so much. I will just urge the parents and the guardians this holiday season, especially with a lot that is happening, to be able to take care of these kids. We don't want to have any casualties, especially with the rising number of suicide cases.
All right. Mashima, 10 seconds.
Thank you very much, Ben. Mine is just two very quick. One, we need to emulate the late Baba for the role he played. He looked at the bigger picture of Kenya, and I'm urging leaders to follow the example and look at the bigger picture of Kenya when they're, leading Kenyans. And then my other take is that parents, we should be very close to our children, because we have a big role to play in the lives of our children. Children belong to us. And it must be a concerted effort of the school, the parents, and children in order for them to actualize. And finally, Ben, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to come and really say something about parenting, and also to say pole to the family of Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, and to all of Kenyans for losing Baba, and also to finally say that let us appreciate Baba's work, and those who are doing TikToks that are negative about Baba on social media, they need to stop. Even leaders who are speaking evil concerning Baba, can they stop? Let Baba rest in peace, and if you feel Baba did not work, let us see you working.
All right, all right. And in 5 seconds, do you think the NADCO report will be implemented?
Ben,
now that Baba is not around?
We are still in the morning period. Let's wait and see. I'll come here to talk about the NADCO report when the time comes.
All right, all right. That has been Honorable Senator-nominated Dr. Gertrude Musuruve, who is also a lecturer at the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. And also just next to her, we have Grace Njeri Karuno, who is a children and also a youth mentor. We were looking at holiday parenting and mentorship, and especially when every when it's said and done, Baba was a very good mentor. And as we would like to have more and more young people coming out, not only in schools as well as also in leadership positions. And we have seen that, when it comes to voter registration and matter civic education, the youth are not coming out in their large numbers. There's something that we would also want to also change in our country. Many thanks indeed for joining us. Earlier on, we had the State of the Nation, and now we are wrapping it with the holiday parenting and mentorship. Thank you so much. My name is Ben Troy Njue. We had Lucy Maura earlier on. Now we have Karon Jaroge on the sign language interpretation. I'm giving the baton to the Swahili team.